Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
The biggest question seems to be, can Arogya Setu, the government's COVID contact tracing app, be used for mass surveillance by the government? According to Rahul Gandhi, yes, Arogya Setu can be used for surveillance, and according to an ethical hacker, Rahul Gandhi is right. This ethical hacker, who goes by the name Elliot Alderson, said on the night of May 5th that there are security issues related to Arogya Setu and that the privacy of approximately 90 million, 9 crore Indians is at stake. However, the government responded that there is no such privacy risk or data breach associated with Arogya Setu, and the ethical hacker is yet to give proof of any data breach. This is all among the concerns of mass surveillance that is increasingly growing as the government makes it more and more mandatory to use Arogya Setu. In a May 1st order, the Ministry of Home Affairs said that it should be made mandatory for private sector as well as public sector employees to download the app, and not just that, not having Arogya Setu on your phone can be a criminal offense. So is Arogya Setu a surveillance app? Here is Arnab Kumar, the Program Director of Frontier Technologies at Niti Aayog, addressing these surveillance claims.
No, I think that's again not well-founded. I would request people to go through the terms of services and the privacy policy again. And we have been publishing several information on this. I would request people to not fall for the clickbait kind of claims and actually do their own due diligence. We have come out with privacy policy, security considerations, and privacy considerations for the app through multiple channels: videos, tweets, essays, video interviews, etc. It's very, very simple. There are a few instances where we collect your location, but you have to understand how we collect this location and how this is used. When you register your phone, you are given an anonymized random device ID. The phone to mobile ID connection or linking happens one time, and it's securely stored on the server. We don't use that after this, unless you have been diagnosed COVID-19 positive. So that is something that people need to understand. When we ask you for your location the first time when you're registering, why we ask for this information? Because we need to know where all in the country people have downloaded this app. This is paired only with the device ID, not with your phone number or your personal information, and stored on the server. The second time when we ask for your location is when you have taken the self-assessment, because we need to know where people with high risk are. And the third is when we are doing contact tracing. For all the contact tracing, unless you have turned COVID-19 positive, we don't have your information. So we don't have real-time information of your location at all. It's on your phone, not on our server. It's encrypted. Nobody can use it. Till the time we explicitly need it because you have turned COVID-19 positive. For the registration and the self-assessment, again, we are not using that on an individual basis. These are one-off location sharing instances, and we are using this to only understand the hotspots and how the infection is moving on an aggregate basis, not on an individual basis. So these kind of concerns, while people are raising, and we are thankful for them to raise, because we live in a civil society and people should have all opinions, and people should discuss if something they think is not as per their understanding. But we have taken all the steps to make sure that these kind of information that you have trusted with us will not be compromised at any stage. And we have been very clear that the information that you're sharing with us is only being used for medical services, nothing else.
And during this May 1st interview, Kumar also welcomed the directive making it mandatory for center employees to download this app. Kumar added that it's required in times of a pandemic and people should not think of it as being forced to download an app.
Recently, the directive has come which has requested everyone to install this mandatorily. I think it's a move in the right direction. And the more the people will use it, it's better for us. And our request to everybody that at least I meet is that have you installed this app, because it's important for you, it's important for me also. Because if I turn positive, you should know. If you turn positive, I should know. I wouldn't think so. I mean, look at what the app asks you and look at what kind of situation we are in. We shouldn't be having any doubts that we are in the midst of a pandemic. It's a real health concern. It's a real health concern for you. It's a real health concern for everybody around you, your community, your office, your neighborhood. So we need to take every step that is required to make sure that all of us remain healthy. If you look at the kind of information that we are asking of you, we are not being contact tracing to some extent people may perceive that it's infringing on their privacy, but if you look at the way we have developed our product, if you look at the way we have developed our privacy policy, this should be able to answer all these concerns. We only ask for minimal information. We ask for some personal information, which is name, age, sex, which again has something to do with COVID-19 medical intervention. I mean, people of certain age are more prone to this. So, and if you have traveled outside India, we need to know that, because then we can plan for your whatever requisite medical intervention is needed for you. Similarly, we have asked you to make us aware whom you may have come in contact knowingly or unknowingly. Even if you have been asked to download it manually, look at where the data resides. Most of the data which is on the contact tracing side is on the phone itself. It is not pushed to the server unless you turn COVID-19 positive. When you turn COVID-19 positive, then we need to inform and assess the risk of people who may have come in contact with you in the last 14 days. Most of the information in most of the cases resides on your phone. It's not pushed to the server with a very, very a well-defined sunset clause, which is every 30 days we delete the data that has been on your phone, and if it's on the server in 45 days if you're not at risk, and if you have been diagnosed COVID-19 positive, 60 days from the day you have been cured. So all the concern that people may have that we are collecting information on the people should be answered through these. We have made sure that only people who are directly related to COVID-19 medical intervention have access to the data. No third party has access to the data at all. Nobody outside government entities but directly related to COVID-19 have access to this information. The information has a very well-defined sunset clause, and we are only using this for medical intervention and nothing else.
However, when the print asked Kumar on the 4th of May whether he also welcomed the Home Ministry's order saying that private sector employees as well as public sector employees, now not just center employees, should download Arogya Setu app, Kumar said he has no comment. Another concern with Arogya Setu is if it even works as expected or if it even works as promised. See, Arogya Setu is supposed to alert you or notify you if you're at risk of contracting the coronavirus. However, this app did not send any kind of alert or notice that I was in a danger zone when I was testing this app near hospitals that were treating COVID patients. According to Kumar, there could be several reasons why the app didn't work as expected. It could be that the app's safe zones need to be reworked, or it could be that I was not close enough to a COVID patient or a COVID virus carrier to actually be notified of any danger, or it could be that the COVID patients did not have a smartphone with Arogya Setu downloaded on it.
No, you're not doing something wrong. It's probably we need to reword the safe zone. I think. See, the app does not tell you where you are standing is a safe zone or not. The app tells you whether you are at risk or not. The app tells you about you. So if you have come in a direct contact with somebody who has turned COVID-19 positive, then it changes your status. It's not as if you are going near a hospital that by virtue of that only that much, your status should not change because you have not come in direct. See, COVID-19 spreads when you come in direct contact with somebody and you have the opportunity to ingest the cough or sneezing droplets. So the distance of contact is very, very important. So unless you have come in direct contact with somebody, there should not be a reason to alert you or make you panic unnecessarily. For example, even if your neighbor has been tested COVID-19 positive, if you have not stepped out of your house, and if you have not had a direct contact with your neighbor, I mean, you shouldn't be. Well, we can say that we have found somebody in your neighborhood who has been COVID-19 positive, so you should be more careful. But there's no need for you to panic because you have not come in direct contact. You have been socially distant from that person more than 6 feet or so. So there's no reason for you to be alerted for that. While we will tell you who all or which areas where we are seeing more such cases, but the Arogya Setu app is from an individual's perspective, not from a zone perspective. That needs to be understood. Yeah, this only works if both of you have Arogya Setu installed. So that's why we are asking everybody, because you may meet somebody and you have the app installed. If that person doesn't have the app installed, we can't share. We can't exchange information between the two of you of this particular meeting. So that then the chain breaks. Mm-hmm. So that's why it's important for everybody around you to have this app installed as well.